A career in biotech is always a question, a big question for the future. That's what we are talking here. Welcome to Bversity's Q&A, and this is Raghul here, and welcome to the part 2 of Bversity's Q&A. If you haven't watched the part 1, please do press the link there by the end of this video and watch the part 1, which answers a lot of interesting questions about career in biotech. So, following the previous 8 questions, so we have interesting 5 questions to talk about today, and this is the first one. What should I do to land a high paying job in the biotech after graduating BSc in biotechnology? So I would like to rephrase this question to answer it. What should I do to land a paying job in biotech would be a good place to start actually. And in that case, again talking about BSc, if you watched the previous video, you would know that the BSc degree is not designed in a very good way to provide enough skills for the students, right? And here, why do people pay you? People pay you for the problem that you actually solve. And in the same case, the problems that you solve will be proportional to the skills that you have, or the skills that you have will be proportional to the problems that you will be able to solve, right? And the more technically strong skills that you have, the more technically bigger problems you will solve, and eventually you will be going to a place where people will pay you more and more. And to land a high paying job, you need high paying skills for that case. And as of now, in the biotech industry, the field of bioinformatics is paid abnormally high compared to what it was earlier. So develop your skills around the bioinformatics industry or systems biology, and I think that will help you land a high paying job, I guess, right? So skills is proportional to job obviously, but strong technical skills is proportional to high paying job. So the question 2 is which master degree is more relevant to today and future? A very interesting question to answer for, because this is one of the strongest statements that I heard from one of my co-founders, and he was participating in one of the conferences lately. And the biggest statement that blew my mind was hospitalization or anything around hospitals is growing digital nowadays. And I'm not able to wrap my mind around how it is going to work actually, but just think how life would be if everything about hospitals or treatment or health turns into a digital platform, right? So in that case, what I'm trying to tell is healthcare, medtech, health tech, all these things are growing markets eventually, which will grow in the near future, maybe 3 or 4 years tops. So what's best for today and what's best for tomorrow is going to be a niche difference for today and for the future. So right now the field of bioinformatics is growing rapidly, where where I can start from screening drugs in a digital way to designing drugs that are very specific to one single person, personalized medicine. And the applications for the field of bioinformatics is it's quite abundant, so we can keep going on and on. So if you try to have your career in the digital space where you learn a master's degree which is more to do with bioinformatics and AI and machine learning, something around that, or programming. Yeah, so if you are looking for a degree which is for this day and for the future, having a degree which is relevant to bioinformatics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science for the fact. So having a degree that is so in between all of these things would be a great fit. There are a few degrees which is for the 30% for the requirement of today and for the future, which is like a specialization in bioinformatics or specialization in artificial intelligence, but that is for the IT, information technology sector. But if we have the same kind of course which we are hoping to have in near future in the Indian engineering ecosystem, where the biotechs will have degrees associated towards the technology, the technological aspect. So if you are opting for your masters in that arena, then you might have a really strong future ahead. So the next question is quite technical in nature. So what exactly happens in bioinformatics when you say bioinformatics, and what education is required? So bioinformatics is actually a really huge word, a vast word. I mean, people who are not in the biotech field, or people who are in the biotech field, may feel that the field of bioinformatics is a bit too narrow, but I would say it is not. So let's take 2 to 3 basic words about a human being or study of human beings, be it about DNA, RNA, protein, which is the fundamental central dogma of life, DNA, RNA and protein. To study these things, a lot of wet lab based research has been going on for a lot of years, but this is resulting in lot of investment, economical investment into the research. So what has been the latest development in the past 30-40 years is people are trying to replicate the same kind of studies that is happening in the wet lab ecosystem, to mimic them in the dry lab ecosystem, where they do all these studies in a digital manner and try to find out what might happen, and eventually they will narrow down the funnel, where they will try to bring down the possibilities of the outcome of the particular experiment, and eventually it reduces the cost of the experiment, and it increases the success rate of the experiment. And this is just one single perspective of the whole bioinformatics field. In fact, what I said was 0.000000 and 101% of what the bioinformatics field can do, right? So if you study about DNA digitally, it's called genomics. I mean, so if you study about gene digitally, it's called genomics. If you study about protein, it's called proteomics. And there are transcriptomics. I mean, the field of bioinformatics is quite vast, like really, really vast. And to answer precisely, so any biological systems, if they are studied in a digital fashion, if they are studied in a technological way, where it is all about tech, where all it's about data, when it is just done using computer, it's called bioinformatics technically, to make you understand in a very layman perspective. So bioinformation based statistical work, bioinformatics. So question 4 is a quite emotional or sentimental answer I have here, I would say. Except for scientist, what else can I be after my MSc Biotech? I shouldn't be doing my PhD, or I shouldn't be writing entrance exams. So what can I do? So this was a very classic problem that we were also facing. I mean, I did my bachelor's almost a decade ago, and the only pathway that even we were shown then is pursuing your career in the research aspect. And what's happening right now, even now, people are just pushed into the field of research till now in the field of biotech. So that's actually a good question to answer. But if you ask me if there are any other job opportunities, any other ways where we can have a career in the field of biotech, yes, I would say research is just 10% of what you can do in the field of biotech. I mean, if you technically ask, what we can do is we can give you a free resource on different types of job roles related to different types of industries, maybe in the description or maybe the call to action that you guys will be given here, and I'll make sure you guys will receive a simple one-page document which will give you a basic insight on what are the different type of jobs, job roles, designations in different type of industries, right? And industries is one big aspect, and if you want to divide the industry, even if you go into pharma, where it can start from the designing of drugs, where it is about doing the bioinformatical work. It might come till packaging and what is it called, regulatory affairs, where you document things properly, get approval properly, and publish the drug into the market properly. I mean, in this space, there are 3 to 4 different market segments, there are 3 to 4 different industries, and I would say there are minimum 40 to 50 different job roles. Minimum 40 to 50 different job roles. So there is a very huge space in the industries for you to try it out. But you should know what you should be doing and what skills you should be developing in your own self to be eligible and capable to get a job in these segments, right? So grow your skills accordingly, and grow your awareness before that in these areas. So we have last question for this video. Is it necessary to get trained enough before we are looking for jobs? The one word simple answer is yes, obviously, but there is a hierarchical way of getting yourself prepared before going into the industry, or before trying to find your job or trying to shape your career. So the first place, it starts with knowing the different type of skill sets. The second place is what are the skill sets that you want to develop for the kind of job that you want. And the third thing is training yourself in the particular skill sets. And the fourth one is doing internships relevant to these skill sets. I mean, if you ask me if training is similar to doing the internship, predominantly yes, they are more relevant, but a lot of times you would be just given a robotic way of doing a basic set of experiment. Let's say, for example, if you want to know how to do pipetting is a very basic skill, and you might find 5 to 10 day training internships or workshops where you will get yourself trained towards this particular exercise of how to pipe it. But when you're going into an actual internship, you will be applying this skill of pipetting into some kind of work, and eventually the work will have some kind of an output to it, and you will be assessed if you are able to get the output that you're actually looking for. So doing trainings, doing internships, and then looking for a job if you have enough amount of experience and exposure towards a particular skill. So if you try to build your career path in a very ascending way like this, eventually you will grow fundamentally strong. It's not like you just learn any one skill where you just learn it just from where you just learn it from the middle to the end, where you wouldn't know the fundamentals stronger, and those places you might fail because you will not be able to adapt and develop yourself in a very agile manner to the growing ecosystem, right? So growing your skills before going to the job is very essential, and yes, train yourself in a very good manner before applying for any job. So with that, we're coming to the end of part 2 of Bversity's Q&A, and we are interested in doing a lot of such interesting content for you people, for you biotech people here at Bversity. And if you have any suggestions on what kind of content that we should be talking here at Bversity, do let us know in the comments. Between, if we are doing the videos that you are asking for, you should know that we are doing it. So for the same case, subscribe, and if you want, you can press the bell icon. Cheers.